Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, well...
So Sammy G, what's happening on the channel today?
So Jack, today on the channel I am going to be doing a bit of a different video, or like another 10 films sort of video. I've done a couple of these where I talked about 10 films I've embarrassingly never seen, and yeah, I think I did another one of them, didn't I? It was a canny while back. I think it was like, was it 10 films of a film series? I haven't watched the rest of the film series or something, but for a few different reasons, I picked out 10 films that I need to revisit. And there's a couple of these I actually have changed a bit. There's a couple of horror ones that I thought that, do you know what, I've only watched this the once and I need to give it another viewing. So the first one, American Psycho. Yeah, I was not a massive fan of this film, unfortunately. I don't know what it was. I did quite like a couple of the side characters. Christian Bale was fantastic in his performance. He did a really good job, but I just didn't really connect with this film all as much as I was hoping for, like on that first viewing, so need to revisit that one. And some people would consider this to be Guy Ritchie's masterpiece, which is the more reason why I need to go back and revisit this film, and that is Snatch. Yeah, a lot of the characters didn't really do much for me. I liked the idea that was involved around this, was it this diamond or something? And there was a few like side groups as well. You had like, was it Lenny James? And then you had Brad Pitt's character as well. So yeah, I definitely need to give this one another viewing, because yeah, it wasn't love at first sight for me. That one was Snatch. Before the new one comes out, I definitely need to rewatch this film. I went to go to Cineworld Newcastle to see it 5 years ago, and I think it just got massively overhyped for me. I just wasn't feeling the buzz or anything. I just thought, whilst, what was it, Joaquin Phoenix was brilliant, incredible in this main lead role, and, you know, I thought he absolutely dominated in that lead role here. And I get that the film was handling with like themes of like mental health and stuff. I totally get that, but for me, the film, in terms of story, I just didn't really connect with this one all that much. But I think it must have just caught me on the wrong day, and that's Joker. Need to revisit this one before the new one comes out. I absolutely 110% agree with the entire world, though, that Joaquin Phoenix definitely deserved to take home Best Lead Actor at the Oscars. But the film itself wasn't really for me, and I felt it was, you know, it took great influences from like Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, and in my personal humblest opinions, I much prefer those movies. But yeah, this one I definitely need to give another like viewing to before the new one is out, with Lady Gaga, isn't it? This film, however, I did really like. I thought it was a really good film. It was absolutely one of the best of last year. But I think a lot of people on Letterboxd, you know, like, were giving this 4.5 out of 5-star on Letterboxd, which is absolutely fair enough, guys, because I totally understand why this film is so well beloved. But I think it just got massively overhyped, and I just felt there was some pacing issues. It went on a bit long, but Nolan's finest for me, guys. Absolutely not. I think the man has done films that I much preferred, like the Dark Knight trilogy for one, and Interstellar and Inception. And I know there's a lot of people that do consider this to be Nolan's finest, and again, guys, that is absolutely fine. Of course it is, because it is a really well-beloved film. But for me personally, it's not one of my favourite movies of all time, and that's Oppenheimer. Really good film, super well acted. You know, I thought Cillian Murphy was absolutely wonderful in the role, you know, and I thought Robin Downing was brilliant in there as well. And I thought the score, the music was incredible. And, I thought the film was well edited. And I thought, like it was a very interesting biopic of J. Robert Oppenheimer. But I think I went out thinking that was really good, but I just did not give it that 4.5 to 5 star on Letterboxd. But a very good film that I do need to revisit to see if I can change my opinion on that one. This film I thought was just okay for me, but again, this one gets a lot of high praise, and it just didn't really quite live up to that sort of peak as I was hoping for. Saying that, it is the film I do own in the Criterion collection, and I definitely need to give it another viewing, and that is Easy Rider. Yeah, again, I know there's a lot of people that absolutely love this film. Again, I think it was Dennis Hopper's directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. And, I thought Jack Nicholson was great in the role and stuff, and a couple of the other actors in there. But, again, I just did not have that personal connection with that film as I have done with, many, many other films. So I think Easy Rider is one I'm going to have to find time for. I didn't dislike or hate the movie, but I just thought it was just okay for me, this one. But it was a decent film, but just not amazing as I was hoping for. So that's why I need to revisit it. And for another different reason, however, I did absolutely love this film when I originally watched it, was The Matrix. Yeah, The Matrix I haven't seen for probably 15 years now. It's been 15 years since I last watched The Matrix. I remembered I was 11 and I had it on DVD and I watched it, and it was like nothing else I've ever seen before. And yeah, for that simple reason, I loved it when I originally watched it, and I haven't seen it for so long, and I need to basically go back and rewatch it. So yeah, that's The Matrix. Really good film. I actually really enjoyed that one. Similar to Joker, actually, before the new one comes out. But again, however, I did really love this film when I originally watched it. Beetlejuice. I won't say it 2 more times in case, for obvious reasons. There you go. But yeah, I did really enjoy this film. Again, I think I had it either on VHS or DVD. I think, like when I was about probably 11 or 12 when I originally watched Beetlejuice for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, again, I need to, I've got it on 4K over there. I need to revisit the original before the new one comes out. So that's Beetlejuice. A film I haven't watched all the way through. I have had 2 attempts, and I just didn't really get this film. It just wasn't working for me. I did, again, love the designs on some of the characters, like Dr. Manhattan and a couple of the other characters I thought was bloody awesome, and there was some really cool scenes in there, especially the iconic opening sequence with what is it Jeffrey Dean Morgan? That is fantastic. And who is it, Nat King Cole song playing in the background. Again, I think that's a brilliant opening sequence, and it's got some real badass moments in there. The film as a whole, I thought it was a bit of a slog, a bit of a struggle in my personal opinion, and I just did not connect with this film all that much, and that is Watchmen. yeah, Watchmen, again, I know this is a well-beloved film, and I think the TV series is meant to be very good as well, but I just did not get this at all. I've had 2 attempts now, and yeah, I thought it was just a bit of a snooze fest. I really didn't enjoy this all that much. I thought, wow, you know, like this was like just a real drab experience watching this movie. However, I do need to revisit it. So yeah, that's Watchmen. I did have 2 other movies on here that I did actually really like, but I am going to change them to 2 horror movies. I'm going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought the film was just okay when I originally watched it. I thought it was all right, and it's absolute sacrilege saying this because I know how much my friend Jordan over at Movie Worm absolutely loves this film. I'm so sorry, mate. I need to rewatch this film. Jordan, definitely, I will hopefully on second viewing will appreciate and more admire this movie. I didn't hate it, I didn't dislike it, but I just didn't know. It just got real overhyped for me on first viewing, and you know, I know this is a real well-beloved staple of horror. I know how much this film means to a lot of people. I know it's a grimy you know, piece of horror, which is a classic staple of horror that I really hope to you know, like admire on second viewing. But on that first viewing, I don't know, it caught me on the wrong day. I thought, again, there were some real slow scenes, and again, I think the characters I just did not connect with in the slightest. Not that I wanted anything drastic or bad to happen to these characters, absolutely not, but yeah, I just thought it was, yeah, not a particularly good watch, but I need to, like, hopefully on second viewing, I will like this one a lot more. So that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And another horror one I thought I would mention is the Amityville Horror. There was some real boring moments in this film, guys. I'm sorry, I just, honestly, some scenes I just thought, wow, this is, like, really, I'm supposed to really enjoy or really like this film. It was so dull at times. I just didn't connect with this one all that much. And I know how well beloved this film is. I know there's a lot of people that absolutely, you know, praise this film to the hilt. But I need to, yeah, give this one. It's been about 5 years. Same with Texas Chainsaw. 5 years since I last watched this film. And I just thought it was average, just middle of the road. But hopefully on that second viewing, guys, I will come to like this one a lot more. So yeah, if there's any of these films though, guys, I've mentioned, and you absolutely love all of those films, even the ones that I didn't particularly get on well with, that is absolutely brilliant, guys. I'm truly glad that these films are, you know, like, to a lot of people's cup of tea, but also a lot of people get a kick out of these movies, and I think it's wonderful, even though some of these movies of which I just didn't really have that personal connection with, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to. But this is why I've made this video, because, like, there's a lot of films, these 10 included, that I need to go back and revisit. But I would be interested to know what your thoughts are on these titles. But some of these I do really like, though, of course. You know, there's majority of these I've mentioned that I haven't really been all fond of. But a couple of these I've really liked, but need to revisit them for like other reasons. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on these 10 films I've talked about here today on the channel, and do let me know, guys, like, what films are you planning on revisiting, and if you plan on to revisit them and see if you might change your opinion on them to see if that film is a potential grower. There's a couple really good examples for me, you know, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I hated that film the first time I watched it. I thought it was an absolute snooze fest. I was so bored shitless when I first watched that film, but when I watched it again, I absolutely love it. Tarkowski's Mirror, first time I watched it, I was like, no, I didn't particularly like this film. And again, I just was like, wow, this just went way over my head. I definitely need to revisit a lot of films. And Tarkowski's Mirror, yeah, I've watched more and more times, and the more times I've watched it, I have come to really admire it. So hopefully these films that have I all seen these films the once? Yeah, I've seen all those films the once. Hopefully I will come to admire them more on second viewing in due course. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to take the time to say thanks again, guys, for all your continuous support on the channel. It really does mean a million. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, I'll be back for more content soon. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye.